YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to the process. It has been a minute. I've been tied up, man. There's been a lot of things going on. This weather ain't been no good here in Michigan. I had a lot, kind of on my plate, man. But it's time to get back to business, so let me give y'all a heads up what this video finna be about. This is going to be my repair of my front bumper on my daily driver. I'm finally getting to it, and I got a few updates for the El Camino. I got some parts laying around, man, for a project I'm working on. This is not for the El Camino, but I got my floor pans in right here. I need to get the floor pans replaced on the rear of my El Camino, behind the seats. The floor pan's kind of bad, but I'll be getting to that soon. But yeah, man, actually, you know what, I had a death in the family, man. I lost my grandmother here, so quick moment of silence for my grandmother, rest in peace. Yes sir, she always supported my car dreams, man, my automotive skills. When I was knee high to a grasshopper, she supported me, man. So I'm gonna keep it going for you, Grandma. Let's do it, baby. So here we go, man. This is the front bumper. I got a whole new replacement bumper for my Impala. As y'all can see, it's already primered up. I noticed a couple little scratches. I'm about to sand these scratches out, but nothing major. It's all good. All right, so first things first, I need to get the paint so I can paint this bumper. So I gotta get my paint code. Oh, wait 1 second. It's the red cup fault. I'm gonna blame the cup, man. That's why I'm in this predicament in the first place. Gotta fix my bumper. But anyway, so in my opinion, the easiest step to get your paint code is to get the last 6 digits of your VIN number, call your local Chevy dealership, the auto parts department, let them run it for you, and pull your paint code up. Because otherwise, you'll be trying to look in your door for your sticker, and somebody told me you can go in the trunk by your spare tire. It's supposed to be like a little sticker under your mat down there somewhere. That did not work for me. I could not find that sticker nowhere. So the easiest thing to do is get the last 6 of your VIN number and call your dealership and do it that way. All right, so let me go ahead and make this auto parts store run, get this paint, and go from there. Let's get to it. All right, so I'm up here at Smiley's Paint Supply, located in Dearborn, Michigan. I get my paint for this bumper. Let's go ahead and get to it, baby. Yo, Smiley, what's up, man? What's up, man? I need you. You get my text, I tagged you on Instagram. Did you peep that?
What's up? How are you, boss?
I'm good, man. I gotta get this paint for my Impala. It's 636R.
Silver color?
Yeah.
How much you need?
I'm thinking about a quart for that bumper.
Quart?
Yeah. That should be enough for that bumper. This is the clear coat I'll be using. I'm getting my boy wet. Get that good shine. Bet they're doing his magic. Okay, he got me locked and loaded. Got what I needed. Just gotta put this work in now. All right, so here's my supplies I got set up. I got my clear coat and my hardener Now this is the clear coat I used on my Camaro to paint my Camaro, and I painted my rose gold IROX. You gotta go back and watch the videos. I had a few people ask me what kind of clear coat do I use, and this is it right here. The paint supply store I go to, this is like their in-house brand that they blend themselves, I believe. It gives the paint a real good shine, man. Had that Camaro looking wet. So this is what I use. It's a good product. This is my base coat to match my color in my car. I got me some mixing cups, some 2-in-1 filler primer. I got my reducer for the paint, and I got me a surface prep, my wax and degreaser, and I got some sandpaper, a tack cloth, and my sanding blocks. Now I need this sandpaper because on my new bumper, I noticed a few little nicks and scratches here and there. This bumper is already pre-primered, but I guess somewhere along the line from me getting this and being in my garage for a while, I got a few little nicks on it. So I gotta make sure I go over this surface and sand that down, get everything cleaned and prepped. Because you don't want to paint over these little nicks and scratches because it will show through your paint. So I'm gonna get this all sanded down, get everything prepped up. Got a few little scratches right here on the bottom of the bumper. I may not worry about all these because it's at the bottom. You ain't gonna really be able to see that, but I'm gonna get everything smoothed out and ready for paint. I got my paint gun over here soaking right now in some lacquer thinner. Just getting it cleaned and prepped. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this bumper cleaned off and prepped up so we can go ahead and get started. So let's get to it. All right, so I did my little sanding, and then I just laid my first couple layers of primer down, and now you can see all those little blemishes I had that's covered. So I'm gonna give this probably about 15 minutes to a half an hour to dry, and I'm gonna come back and then wet sand this with some 400 grit, then get the surface back wiped down and prepped, and she should be ready to go. Ready for that base coat. So you already can kind of see it's coming together. So we're almost there. I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry and then come back and wet sand. But it's looking good so far. No more scratches. All right. Okay, so I got this bumper primed up and I did my wet sand with some 400 grit sandpaper. So now I got a good smooth surface. I took my hand and just rubbed all the way across. You wanna make sure it feels real smooth like silk. You shouldn't feel no grooves, no orange peel kind of like surface. It should be flat all the way across, okay? So it's looking good. Everything is smooth. No more scratches. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get my base coat ratioed, get my reducer and everything mixed And this is my my paint code right here. I don't know if you can see that. A blade silver. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this open. And I'm gonna get my mixing cup. And I'll show y'all how this works out. So it's gonna be a 1-to-1 ratio. So put this right here. This is the color. So I'm gonna go ahead and stir this up some. And then add it to my mixing cup and then add my reducer. And get this show started. So, all right, man, let me go ahead and get to it. Okay, so check it out. I just sprayed like maybe a coat or two to kind of get the surface covered. And I got some pretty good coverage. It's looking good already with just those 2 coats. So I'm gonna let this dry for about 15 minutes. Let it flash in between coats. I'm gonna come back, maybe hit it with like another coat or 2. Just focus around my edges. And that'll be about it, man, as far as that base coat goes. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting my clear coat prepped. So, it's looking good, man. All right, let me go ahead and get back to it. Okay, so here we go. This the finished product. Look at that boy shining, man. I hit it with about 2 or 3 coats. I'm gonna say 3 coats of clear. And look at that. That boy is wet. I had to catch myself, man, because I know I like to go heavy. And I'm trying to match that factory shine. You know, that factory shine don't hit as hard as custom paint. So I had to just lay that 3 coats. I wanted to blend in with the rest of the car. I wanted to be hitting too good. You know what I'm saying? So look at that. It look good, man. And I'm trying to avoid having to wet sand. But I mean, look at that. It laid real flat. I might hit it with some 2500 grit and then buff it out. But if you ever paid attention to any new cars, man, all new cars got like a slight orange peel in the paint. So it ain't gotta be perfect. But that product, that clear coat I'll be using, man, this automotive art, it's a good product, man. It do the job every time. So I'm satisfied. So I got my heaters on because it's a little colder than what I wanted it to be. It's about 45 degrees outside. I turn my little space heaters on so this can dry for about, you know, I don't know, man, 4 to 5, maybe 6 hours. And I'm gonna go ahead and move it. So that was the easy part. Now I gotta go over and get the car, get the old bumper off, and get this boy installed. So I'm on to the next step. So here we go. All right, so this is day 2. I let my bumper dry overnight. And you can see that paint laid pretty good. That looks pretty close to factory if you ask me. You know, I don't see any kind of blemishes or fish eyes. That clear coat laid pretty flat, so if y'all can see that. So let me show you on the actual car, because you want your part to pretty much blend in with the factory texture of the paint. And if y'all can see that, it's a little bit of orange peel, like I was saying, already in this paint. So if I do any kind of wet sand, then there we go, right there. You can kind of see it real good now. If I do wet sand this bumper, I'm gonna probably hit it with some 2500 grit, just to knock it down a little bit and buff it out. But that looks pretty good. So again, I don't want to really make this a long video, so I'm not going to show you every single step of getting this bumper installed, but I will walk you through what you're going to be going through. So you got these little fasteners across the top of the bumper that has to come off. So get you a flathead screwdriver, just go around and raise them little tabs up and get all those out. Then you got a 10mm screw in this side of the bumper. It's a 7mm screw up here holding it in to your fender. And then along the fender wells, you gotta move this fender shield. You got these little hex. This is a T15. You got T15 bolts all the way in there that has to come out so you can get to these screws behind the fender. And of course, along the bottom of your bumper is more of these fasteners, and I think some 10mm screws going all the way across the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get started and show y'all, you know, what I'm going through as I go. So let me go ahead and get to it. All right, so there's the old bumper. And to be honest, man, I'm a little disappointed in GM. Like, that boy only had these little top screws across the top and one little screw on the side of the fender that was holding that bumper on. Like, that was it. Y'all see that boy just fell right off. And you gotta be careful because this is the plug. It's like, it's a harness down up in here. Let me move this. So it's a harness in here for your fog lights. If you got fog lights in your bumper and there's barely any room for it to hang. So be careful with that so you don't snatch your harness off. So now I gotta just change all these. My grills gotta come out. And I unscrew my fog lights. You see some screws holding the fog light on right there. So I gotta take all that off and transfer it to my new bumper. So let me go ahead and work on that. And I'll get right back with y'all. Alrighty, so I got that bumper back on finally. And here we go, man. This is the finished product. So it's looking good. And I ain't did no wet sanding yet. This is just my touch. So what y'all think? Alright, look. Should I even worry about doing any wet sanding? I don't know. I ain't really too worried about it. I mean, it got a little bit of peel in it, but I ain't too worried about it, man. I do got a small gap in between this fender and the front lip, the front bumper part. I could not get it to get back flush to save my life. All the screws and everything lined back up good. I got everything adjusted good. I just could not get that gap to close. So for now, I ain't worried about it. But she look good. Let's check out my fog lights. Sir. Back in business, man. Looking good. Got the old bumper out here ready for the trash. In the back of my truck / car. My Elko. But yeah, man, so let me tell y'all a quick little story on some numbers. I had called a dealer in a couple of shops and, you know, got a quote on what they would charge me to get this job done. And the dealer wanted, I think, $600 for this bumper brand new. They was like $1,000 for parts and labor. So that was like, what, $1,600 in that area. And I ended up finding me that bumper online for about $400. I think I spent about $200 in paint and supplies. So what's that, $600? You know, and did it myself. So that's how you do it, man. If you can do it yourself, get it done. Save yourself some money. You know, but this is what I do though. It wasn't the easiest job in the world, don't get me wrong. But this is what I do, man. If you got the time, sit down and just knock it out yourself. So, we looking good, man. Now it's on to my next project. I'm gonna go ahead and get that El Camino started. Get it tore down, start getting them floor pans and everything put in. Starting from the ground up, man. So, make sure y'all stay locked in for that. Make sure you subscribe to my channel during my process. You know, we almost at my goal, my 1,000 subscribers. So I appreciate all y'all for locking in with me. And like I always say, man, make sure y'all like this video. Leave me a comment. Share it. All that YouTube stuff y'all already know, baby. So let's go ahead and get to it.